Hi, I'm Jim Juback, and welcome to this week's Trend of the Week. This week I'm going to talk about inflation. We had CPI numbers a few days ago that were kind of scary. We had 5.4% inflation, this is year-over-year growth as of September. And the argument since then has been, well, does that really mean what we think it means? The core rate is not growing at nearly that rate. So, hey, since we usually take out energy and food prices because they're too volatile, maybe we ought to do that here too. And then, of course, there's the argument of whether this is transitory. The Fed has been arguing that inflation rates are going to stabilize, come down, because this is really all about short-term stuff due to the pandemic and supply chain problems. I want to raise a different possibility, which is that the official rate of inflation, however you measure it, whether it's PCE or Consumer Price Index, is really too low because companies are getting very, well, shifty is one word, about how they raise prices. The poster child for this that I'm going to use is Sherwin-Williams. They're not the only company, but it's a big example. Okay, so here you can see a chart for Sherwin-Williams. They make paints and they run a chain of paint stores. So they not only have control over their pricing, which all manufacturers do, but they have control over how their prices are presented. And one of the things they've done recently is that they have added a 4% supply chain surcharge. It's a way to pass costs on to consumers without actually taking that gallon of paint and putting a different sticker on it. Now, this is if you want to say they've been pioneers here, the airlines have been doing this for years, makes price comparisons very, very hard, which I think is, well, part of the reason for doing this. In some major economies, the European Union, for example, this is illegal. You can't add a surcharge that's not in the price because they say it makes it very hard for consumers to judge what prices are doing. And I think that that's part of the reason for this is to basically hide inflation, not in terms of the government figures, but in terms of what companies are actually charging. But for our purposes, for the purposes of investors and traders, it's the fact that this really doesn't show up very well in the inflation numbers. So this kind of trend is worrisome to me because it really has an effect on how much buying power people have. You know, if you're going to get hit with a higher price, you can buy fewer gallons of paint or widgets or whatever. So the fact that it's not in the official number is irrelevant. It's the question of how this is really affecting people's buying power. And that's the trend that I'm watching, and that's what worries me. So thanks for watching. This is Jim Juback. If you want more of my stuff, go to jubackpicks.com, my free site down below. You'll see a link. My subscription site is jubackam.com. Thanks for watching.